There we go. At least something coming through now. Am I too loud? No, OBS needed multiple updates, and it's something to do with the Twitch API change, and it needed multiple reboots and a reinstall of the plugin and various other things. I'm guessing that at some point it broke something because it claimed that the microphone was in use when in fact Windows at least showed no application actually actively using it. I'm guessing it just locked somehow. Probably quicker to just do what I did and reboot instead of trying to troubleshoot it. Hey, welcome in guys, sorry about this. Yeah, it's been tough. This is at least the 4th update that I've done with this single version so far. You sort of got the feeling that Twitch sprung these API changes on them, so they were probably forced to release code that wasn't quite primetime ready. I'm hoping that this update is steady. It's been a while since I streamed. I got a bout of the COVID and probably the Omicron variant. Was pretty sick there for a bit. Took my voice a while to recover as well. Let's say it's barely stream ready, but in the interest of getting on with this game, I really want to continue playing it. So here I am. And the game is loaded. We got pretty far 2 Fridays ago with chapter 8 of the game. Probably made it about halfway through chapter 8. Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Not 100% yet, but I'm definitely feeling better than I was a week ago. Friday a week ago was probably the worst day. I was sick as a dog on Friday last week, but been slowly recovering. Hey there, Metro, welcome in. Yeah, it's been a bit. It took us a while to get started here. We had some microphone issues. The microphone claimed to be being used by another application, which it is not. I have a very strict audio chain which makes sure that nothing actually uses it except the application that picks it up. That shouldn't be possible at all, but apparently it was anyway. Now, as it is fitting for this game, last time we left it, we were a little bit lost. Get gone about as far as we could without hitting a barrier of some sort. So I want to try to go as far north as we possibly can at this point. Yeah, you do your cleanup, but feel free to lurk. Thanks for lurking. Now, we did try to go north here. So this is the last week at the old job for the AKRAM. Yeah, sorry. Change of scenery. Okay. So starting a new job a week from now. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass that this is pretty much as much as a map as we can get at this point. We can no longer really use the big map because we're, as they would say, out of this world. We're on a planet somewhere that isn't actually on the main game map. So we basically have to rely on this map. Close as we can actually get to having a map. Makes things a little bit more difficult than perhaps they need to be. Plan is still to go as far north as we can go. Okay, so this is as far as we can go towards the barrier. There's nowhere to go here. And we can sort of go through these crystals here. We do seem to be pretty much at the edge of this planet here. Certainly been here before. Oiled rations. A shovel. It's interesting that we would find shovels here. Obviously haven't been in these two huts before, or we would have taken this stuff. The dead bodies too suggest that we have been here before. Definitely been here before at least. This is pretty much the end of this. The top of this bit of the island here. We have at least cleaned the place up quite a bit, so really a lot of activity. Was in this little hut. This is something that's called Dorcas's Treatise. I flip through the crisp, well-lettered pages with growing interest. Incapacity thought might be of later interest when reading. He dog-eared the edge of a page, but was astonished at the page unbent itself, trees vanishing without a trace before his very eyes. Interesting. Guess we need to take this book with us. A full bottle of flame root oil. Guessing that might come in handy at stage. To pick this stuff up, we need to get rid of something else. Start by reading this book. Then maybe when we're done reading it, we can leave it behind. It would seem clear to Cora that Dorcas knew intimately the material about which he was writing. He unfortunately assumed that his readers also understood many principles which were obscure or unheard of by most magicians. In the author's favor, he did make many useful points on the subject of interrelation. The principle allowed the magician to strike a target object with a spell, and suggested that people first practicing the craft use a concoction called Luton's Concentrate to improve the accuracy with which they directed their spells. We already have some of that, I believe. Some of this is, in fact, yeah. It's Luton's Concentrate. We have some of that. Okay, so we don't need this book anymore. Shouldn't really have put it in a bag. Dumb idea. Let's take it out of the bag. Let's leave it in this tent rather. We leave it in the bag. Bound to get stolen. Take the flame root oil and leave the burning fluid there. Don't think it will be very useful to us at this point. We're not getting any rest until nighttime. Papa's on this note again. Figuring that we already read this note, but let's see. Yeah, we already read this note. That note from Pug. Leave it in the tent where we found it. Okay. These guys. It's already pretty much nailed how to deal with these monsters at this point. was basically to have Owen run away as much as possible and use as little magic as we can. Basically just using the magic to cast a protective armor on Gorath so he can stay protected during battle. Basically means that we don't have to spend any of the few mana points that we do get. It also means that we take very little, if any, damage. Okay, Megatron Gamer, work away. Okay, this is another one of those protective barriers. We can't move further. Nothing in there except a few more shards. Why is he so tired all of the time now? Yeah, we're taking heavy damage here. By continuing south. Let's load the game back up. Oh, not save. Restore. We're wasting energy and we're wasting food as well. Where are we roughly? Here. Yeah. Okay, can we approach this from the other direction? Yeah. This is basically where we left the game. This fine mess that we found ourselves in. There's some sort of barrier that is affecting us here, preventing us from going further in this direction. Tempted to see these guys. Fairly certain we're supposed to go north somehow. The question just remains, how do we get past this barrier without taking so much damage, or is there perhaps an alternate path that we can take? We had gotten quite good at fighting these guys last time around. Fought them in pretty large numbers. They're everywhere, these guys. Gotten quite good at it. Too many edges. Okay. Too many edges, it seems. Was rather unfortunate. I guess we hadn't done very much. Okay. Well, if we go west, when we face this barrier, the question then becomes: we try to go here. Tackle this from the other side. Perhaps a better idea. Would then mean going here. Waterfall over here. Fairly certain we've been here before. Or the Serpent Man. There are at least two variants of these guys. One set of them actually is a mage. They're quite a bit more difficult, but the regular setup of these guys is fairly easy to deal with. Seems we haven't seen these tanks before. So, take care of these guys. Try to move Owen here a little bit, so he's a little bit harder to hit with the slings, but the slings cause very little actual damage, so even if they do manage to hit us, we about break even, so we can heal 4 or 5 hit points per round. So they do 3 or 4 damage. That's pretty much the same as we can heal, so it does very little actual damage to us. If we can keep casting this armor spell, we're pretty good. As soon as we can approach him, he can no longer use the swing, so that means Owen is basically able to recover. This is basically just going through the motions. Why is that chat not filling out the window? It's slightly better. Better still. Okay. They're dead. That's a lot of rations that we gained. Could come in handy. These are not okay. Okay. See what's in these shards that we need to be able to cast a magic, but basically fully loaded with these at this very moment in time. Okay. Go over this bridge. Well, this is where it's very uncomfortable not to be able to zoom the map out properly. The east is roughly where we want to go. We can definitely go pretty far in this direction. This is a tougher little battle we've dealt with for a while now. Deal with these guys first. At least a real pain in the ass to fight in hand-to-hand combat. Get Owen away from these guys. Away from these guys as well. The crab thing only got one shot at Gorath, but did like 25 damage. That small window that he had, so sort of goes to show you how much damage these guys can do. He's out. He's running away. I'm not going to chase him. Just take care of this guy instead. Might allow him to run away as well. Use the rest of the fight to cover. That's fine. Something here on the outer edges. Not sure we've been here before. Eventually, given this fight, we have not. The door burst open. The creatures that streamed out formed a curious formation, as if they were trying to protect something inside the strange little dwelling. Unsure how to best deal with the situation, Owen shot a glance at Gorath. A heartbeat later, the battle was joined. This is another combination. This time only one of the crab dudes. I'll deal with him first. Annoying little things a bit. Okay, he's done. And it's the snake guys. Now basically appears to be very afraid of us. One down. 2 down. We missed. Three down. Let's see whether they had something on them that we need. Not obviously in this hut. What's this? The cup of Rinskr, tarnished, dented, peeling. While age had left its mark on the ancient ceremonial cup, it had not diminished the majesty of the artisan's work. 4 leprous serpents reared from the sides of the battered chalice, their eyes of ruby seething with mysterious intent. Okay. Going to assume that we need this cup. How many charges here? 2, 3. Let's leave this one behind. Have this instead. Fill up our rations as well. I think they're full. Now, assume that we need this cup for something. What's in the other little dwelling here? Or mana. We have no use right now. What does this cup do? With the greatest strength of will, was able to drive off the darkness within the artifact. Don't think this is the time to use it. Owen gasped. Perhaps Puck will understand it. 8. Okay. Hey Punter, welcome in. Thanks for the resub. 17 months, man. It's been a while.
Months. Oh, hi there.
Been a while, hasn't it? We're slowly going through the motions of chapter 8 in this game. Getting near to the end, but not quite there yet. We're searching for Puck the Magician, which is somewhere on this island. But where exactly remains to be seen. Slowly finding all of the bits and pieces that we need. So many of these houses all over the place. So we've obviously been here before, held by the strew of dead bodies all over the place. Yes, let's rest here for the night. Guess we should go over this bridge at this point. Is there something here somewhere on the edge that we can't see on the map? No. Not obviously. Nothing obvious here. There is a hut down there. We saw on the map. More of the snake man. My biggest concern is that I'll accidentally pass by a hut and forget to check it out. There are just so many of them. Leave Owen alone. Yeah, our abilities are basically increasing pretty quickly. Corot's defense is up to 71%. His melee accuracy is up to 76% as well. So seems pretty high. Our Owen's casting accuracy is up to 100%, which is stupid high. We're by far the strongest of the party at this point. They've certainly been through their fair share of adventures together so far. There's basically very little in that hut. Guess we go to the main road again. Travel northward this time around. See if there's something on this island been able to pick up so far. Mostly looking for a hut, some sort of building or something on the map that we missed. Be very easy to miss something with all of the crystals and all of the various other things standing in the way. By and large, this is okay, we're at another corner of the protective barrier at this stage. This is as far north as we can go. Guessing that, but we should at least be able to go west here. Go west, I said. Life is peaceful there. We can get past this barrier by just going slightly off the beaten path, it seems. Really doesn't seem all that complicated. Basically just go back here. Three tents there in the distance. We've been in all of them before. You can see that by the amount of dead bodies around them. Have we been to these before? They look pretty well hidden there out in the desert. Yeah, we've obviously been here before. Mana inside this one. Note here, we probably read. Although, in the interest of thoroughness, I'll read it again. There's something in a bag outside here. So we can pick up and read this note. Sadly, there's no way to read the note inside the tent. You have to bring it into the inventory to be able to read it. Okay, we haven't seen this before. This is a map. Finally, a map. A highly useful one at that. I'll take a quick picture of it. And we're here. There's something here that we probably have not seen. This looks like some sort of magical gathering here up in the far north corner. Now, to save us from having to carry this map around, leave the map at the hut. I place the map here. Leave it in the hut. Got to take the restoratives with us here. What's in the other hut? Just the crystal shards, right? Okay. Basically what we want to do is we want to go, based on this map, we want to go up here, north again. Want to go as far up here as we basically can. The top of this arrangement, there is something that was marked on the map. What is something about these crystal formations here? These they were very, yeah, there's some sort of pillars here. Pillar was made of crystal, in better condition than the others in the circle. Its reflective surface, not as pitted by the blast of the sands as the others had been. Stroking its surface, Owen marveled at the amount of work it must have taken the craftsman to make. I wondered what this place was originally, Owen asked, not expecting the mental reply which flooded his senses. You stand in the ruins of Carson-Mog, once the high temple of the 7 gods of Tirimenia. Once these columns were only symbols of the gods, crafted by the Savani artisans who were servants of the Daswan. Now they are the vessels within which we have taken refuge. Refuge? What drives a god into refuge? Owen asked. I wouldn't think it would be possible. Valhöf, the voice said, though without a true voice it was impossible for Owen to tell, but there were shadings within it that seemed a mixture of hate and sorrow. Those who were known as the Valhöf extinguished all life as we knew it here, using this as a battleground where they warred with all who dared challenge their universal supremacy. Only when that Swanan showed to us that our struggles would be futile did we create a plan by which we could drive out the hordes of Pathanians and Kata and Sakamati. What did you do? Owen asked. A long silence greeted him before a distant reply came to him. Of the 7 who ruled, there are only 6 of us who survived desolation. The 2 have faded so far from the world they can no longer give voice to their thoughts. But instead are little more than sentient forces of nature. Only Daswan will remain, waiting for the time of the awakening. He shall call us when the need has come. We shall not speak again, Savani. Interesting. What does all of this mean? What does all of this mean? The pillar was smooth to the touch. Tavango Owen, it seemed to be made of an exquisite crystal of some fashion. Oh, it was wholly unlike anything he had ever seen on Mekimia. Through it he could see refracted images of the desert beyond, but when he varied the angle at which he held his head, it seemed as though he could see other places which were not on the other side of the column. Instead, it seemed that there were images of oceans and skies of other colors. Your observations intrigue me, your Savani, are you not? Startled at the presence of the alien sentience in his mind, Owen shook his head, unsure whether he should simply think his reply or speak it out loud. He decided that speaking it would be the safest route. Not familiar with the term Savani, so I don't know if I am one or not. Who am I communicating with? Nearby Goroth threw Owen a startled glance, apparently alarmed that his friend was speaking to the air. Before Owen could rattle off an explanation, the voice within his mind returned. I'm Sutakami, mother of the 1,000 mysteries, once goddess of Tirimenia. You have summoned me. What do you desire to know? I am not sure what you're asking, Owen said. Are you an oracle? No, the voice replied. I may only tell that which is already known, though I dimly perceive things that may come to be, since you're newly come to this world. Perhaps you would decide to see something of the creatures who inhabit the desolation of our world. Suddenly Owen's mind reeled with visions of men with scales rather than skin, and large, hulking creatures with shining carapaces, which roamed the desert. Grasping to retain what he learned about the creatures, that the information flooded through his mind like a tide. At last seized upon an image of a wispy figure. What are these things I see? Owen asked. They look as if they are made of smoke. They are the ancient servants of Relin Skar, the last priest of Daswanan before the desolation. Creatures of magic, they can only be killed by special spells, which drain directly from their materiality, their strength. Now they still wander the ruins of Daswaman's ancient temple. For a moment the image wavered and stabilized once more. I must rest, I'm needed elsewhere. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, we're gonna need to tackle these things in order here. Warmth radiated from the column. At first, Owen assumed that the crystal was radiating. Heat reflected from the alien sun, but even on the side away from the glare, the pillar seemed equally warm. I made too little for you, a feminine voice asked quietly in his mind, this much and no more. Suddenly the sensation of heat grew, washed out from the pillar like a warm breeze, shifting the sand beneath their feet and pressing out in the deserts beyond. In a brief second the wind was gone, leaving the pillar cold and quiet. What abilities did we gain? Additional defense. Yeah, quite a bit of additional defense. Something odd about the column. Removing his hand, Owen struggled to find words for what he was feeling. You know how it is when someone is standing behind you and you know that they're standing there even though you haven't heard them come up. Smiling faintly, Goran shrugged. It is a sensation I've heard of, but I'm afraid that it's an experience almost unknown to my kin. Reaching up, he tugged one of his ears. There is little that escapes our hearing. Oh, looking down at the ground, Owen suddenly flushed, realizing how little he truly knew about God or his people. One day he would make a point of getting to know him better. I don't know how to explain what I felt in the pillar, except that it felt alive, like there was some presence within it. If only I knew how to reach it. Rest here for a bit. Where is the next pillar? Seemingly only 5 of them. Right. One here. We touched all of them at this point. Didn't say there were 7 of them. Yeah, there are indeed 7 of them. 2 here. So 2 here. There are. It's very difficult to see in this weird 3D sort of view that this game has. Near impossible, in fact. You can only see 6 now, but there are in fact a total of 7 of these. You can see all of them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. We've already tried these 2. Obviously tried all 3 of these. To get to the same vantage point. I can see the other 2. One here. This one we haven't touched. Owen hesitated, shimmering in the hellish alien heat. It seemed probable the sun warmed base of the column would blister him if he touched it, but he was curious what materials the glass-like pillar had been made of. Privately, he wondered if the serpent people they had encountered in the desert plains had been responsible, for the enigmatic monolith, but somehow the idea seemed wrong to him. No, the pillars of Karsan were seen were not crafted by the Pinath Tinda, a voice whispered in his mind, we made ourselves. Horrified by the sudden uninvited intrusion of the alien presence within his mind, Owen drew back from the column, but the intruder remained. We 7 were the gods of Timiriana Savani. I myself was once that Savan, Lord of Gates. But once the Valhav brought their words of desolation, we narrowly averted their great star death. I don't know what any of the things you were saying mean, Owen replied. I've heard very little about the elven old ones called the Valhav, but beyond that, it is unimportant, Savani the voice said. What we were is lost beyond regaining. There is time yet to save your people from the same fate. You have brought the cup of Ran's scar to us. That is of the utmost importance. The abandoned progeny of the Pantathians will now be denied access to the hall. We can be assured they will never again hear from their Machinian mistress, though their re-established contact with their brethren holds dire consequences for the future of your world. But for now you have no need of concern. The cup's powers may now be subdued until the time it is needed again. Since we appear to have done you a favor, may we ask one in return? Owen asked. We are looking for one named Pugged. He too has shared a destiny with the cup, but his was a crueler fate. He misapprehended the scope of the cup's powers. When he awakened its powers to seek the mind of his lost daughter, it overwhelmed him and reduced him to little more than a helpless child. We sent him to a structure constructed by the Panathiandra, the protective barrier that has kept him within will be removed once you located him. Okay. So he is somewhere on the other side of that barrier, somewhere within that barrier. You imprisoned him so you could protect him, Owen guessed, to save his life. An amused quality lent itself to the god's mental reply, though Owen felt certain such feelings were beyond the god. As an individual, he is of little interest to us, but we saved his life in honor of a kindness done for the last survivor of our world's holocaust by one known as Macros. He knew of these events and asked that the one known as Pug be sheltered until we returned here with the cup. Already he has regained most of his identity and memory, but his abilities will yet be impaired for some months. We also find that the way is open to a place that would have gained you your deaths if you had gone there. The ancient lands once occupied by the Valhav during their wars there. There are artifacts there that may be of help to you in your quest. You may now leave, but take the cup with you. With it you may teach Pug the spells you know. It may even be that it holds some greater destiny for you. Fine. Okay, so that's the last of the columns. We have a rough idea of what it is that we need to do. Don't know exactly where we need to do it, but at least we know how. It's not terribly far from here either. My guess, and this is just an educated guess, is that we can now approach the barrier without getting hurt by the health reduced by the effects of it. That's just a guess. I don't know for sure at this point. And there, that's the map. We don't really need a map. I have a drawing of it. I have a picture of the map on my phone, so we don't basically need the map. The 3D view in this game is super annoying. There's no way to see there are 3 houses here. There is no food here. No. Okay. Let's draw up the mini-map now. Now we want to go south or southeast again. Was there some food in this little hut here? Another note. A little fight to take our mind off things. Oops. Wasted a turn here for no reason. Now these things can't really run very far, so we can easily run away from them. When they do hit us, it hurts quite a bit, so really important to keep moving at least. Needs one more hit to go down. Yeah. Down he goes. More defensive ability. Korad is already at something like 80 in defensive ability, so it's getting pretty high. Nothing on these guys. Time to rest for the night anyway. Was here. Not much of anything. Keep going. Yeah, now we're at the edge of the barrier. So we need to find way past this. Not doing too hot health-wise. We are lucky in that we do have some Russians, but they aren't forever. Where does this lead? Seems to lead into the cliff face. assumption is that a puck is somewhere hidden with in this area. Not the where exactly is the question. Which is why I haven't saved the game. A light exploded in Owen's brain, unified the edicts of the gods of Emirania and endanger the good of all. You both now shall pay for your heresy of Walter Savani. For a moment, a brilliant image formed in his mind, seven crystal columns glittering in the sunlight, and then the pain caused like a river through him, floating him away into deathly oblivion. Okay. That's annoying. How is it that we get there? That's as far as we can basically go. That's as far as we can go. Going around this will take a fair bit of time. Can we somehow escape this by traveling on the outskirts here? Is that better for us than going closer to the mountain ranges? Oh, this is basically the point where we get completely killed. Okay. Let's assume then that we need to go around, which would mean can't go through the mountain. So, at least I assume that we can't. That would mean all the way around here. Approaching this from the other side of this pretty big rock formation here. Which means going over this bridge, going back for this one. No, that's not really an option either, because there is no way to get through this. Guess we have to go further in this direction. Try to rest here, bring ourselves to close to full health as we can, but every step that we take will do damage. Yeah, we're now roughly in the same place. So very tough. Is it located somewhere here? Is that the whole point of this little exercise? A little bit weird how this leads into the mountain like this. There's a cutoff point somewhere around here. We're basically dead. Okay. There's nothing to be gained from going in this direction. I think we should search that island a little bit more. See if a puck is hidden in a house somewhere on that island. So we'll go around this little mountain bit. Fairly certain he's somewhere there on the southwest or southeast side. I have to take a peek into all of these houses again. I'm going to keep this view on because it's very easy to miss one of these houses when you're you don't have this view on. There are two houses here on the other side of the bridge. What's this? The door was unlocked. Cracking it open, Owen peered into the formless darkness of the shaft. When no one replied to his shouted greetings, he turned to Goroth. No one down there, Owen said. Might be interested to take a look around. Feel like blundering in around the dark for a few minutes. An hour passed after moving through a long stairway that seemed to twist and wind in unexpected directions. Found themselves down in some sort of mine. The hell are we now? Where the hell are we now? We have a torch on us before I waste this. I have a torch touch on us. Candle glow it is. I have no idea where the hell we are now. Surrounded by these fun little things. Yes. This is the variation of these guys that have the magical abilities. So that's then great. The advantage to this is that the mages are pretty weak. So, they don't have anywhere near the amount of hit points that the others do. Far more difficult to deal with. They also cost us quite a bit of health. We did okay. Had to spend quite a bit of health from Owen to cast a spell. Certainly a drawback. Impossible to see the individual corpses on the floor here. I know there are 4 of these guys, but I can only really see 3 corpses. Might be missing something. This is a dead end. This is just a pile of rocks. It seems to be a decently sized place. Oh, there's not a lot of things to see here. Hoping this is where they're hiding Puck. More health that we need to waste to cast a light. Another pile of rocks. Yeah, we do need rest. At least we're able to rest here, which is good. sort of looked like we could turn to the west as well, but that does not actually appear to be the case. Bunch of dead ends here all over. Did we forget to go down here? It's a good idea to keep an eye on this map. It's like a place that could be very easy to get lost in. There's a door and it's open. Good. Find an open door. Made a grave mistake. What the hell are these things? What are these things? Evening Gleaser, thanks for the raid.
He flows up. This was great.
Welcome guys from Gleaser's channel. Usual assortment of Betrayal at Krondor here on Friday. Going through the motions of chapter 8 at the moment, trying to find Puck the Magician, bring him back for the final battle in chapter 9 of this game. We're in some sort of dungeon. Not having the best of times, must be said. These guys are untouchable. Yeah. Are these the guys that the god mentioned? Do we then need some sort of spell that we don't have to fight these guys? That doesn't think. Yeah, thanks for rating, Gleaser. If you need to go head to bed, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I will see you here tomorrow, Gleaser. You enjoy the rest of your night. You sleep well. I don't really think we have anything that touches these monsters. I suppose we could try the flame cast. No. We're obviously missing a spell or an item of some sort to use against these guys. Or nothing that we do does anything to these guys. Guess we just put it on auto mode and have them kill us. I think that's basically the option. then we load the game and we don't go in there. I think we might have found the final point that we need to reach on this level. So once we are done with finding Puck and we found whatever it is that we need to attack these guys, this is probably the place to be. I'm not going in there, that's for sure. Question remains. Is Puck here somewhere? That we don't know. That we do not know, so... He might be, but he might also not be. Owen approached the slab, studied carefully for several minutes, tracing his finger over the 12 unintelligible symbols which were carved into the rock face. Appears to be nothing more than a large stone slab, he said. I was rather hoping there might be something else about it. Prominent as it is, I was thinking perhaps it might have a notch or a groove in it somewhere. Perhaps it's a marker of some kind. Indeed. This is a big room. Nothing in it except these slabs. I think. Doesn't appear to be anything else in here. There's this single large slab of stone here in the middle of this room. Is this the same door? Might be door leading to the same room as before. Yeah, I have a feeling that these are all just doors to exactly the same room. Judging on the map, here, they all appear to lead exactly to the same location. There's one more door here, yeah. There are at least 4 doors to this room here. This one. They all lead to the same place. Already know what's inside. Guessing this is just a full circle here. Yeah, it is. This is a full circle here around this room. Another way out. Guessing this might lead back to the start of the level. Finished exploring this before we go back to the surface. We're here anyway. Very similar to the other side of this. Yeah. This is the other end. This is probably where we came in. So this all just leads in a circle of dead ends here. Now we need to have another fight. Get out again. Assuming that we're successful in doing so. Probably a very similar fight to the one that we had when we got in here. Going to attempt to just use the skin of dragon now. Approach these guys. Casting magic is very expensive. There are finite numbers of mana crystals on this world, so trying not to use them is pretty important. So if we can try to avoid using them, that's better. These spells don't really seem to do very much. We can at least break through them pretty easily. We are able to do damage to these guys even despite their spellcasting. Might slow us down a little bit, but overall it seems to be able to get through it pretty easily. Don't really need to waste magic on these guys, at least not very much. We can just get away with using the defensive spells. Search these bodies, see if we can find some rations, although we've left plenty of rations behind in the desert as well. If we really got desperate in terms of rations, we could pretty easily go back and find some of them. Okay, I think we're back at the start of the level here. I think this is actually where we came in. Yeah, it is. Okay, we know what's in there, but we have no way of defeating it at this point in time. I'll sleep here for a bit until the sun rises. Make a mental note of the location of this. It's basically here in the there's a little corner of this island here. This is at least not where Pug is hidden. Keep searching for him. Means that he is in one of these houses somewhere on this island. Sure, just a question of finding which one it is. One of our good friends. One done, 2 to go. Two done, 1 to go. Okay, 3 done. Single pack of Russians. Another of these crystal staffs. That is very interesting. Assuming that we need one for Puck as well. But make a mental note of the fact that there is another one down here. Because we'll definitely, if we find Puck, he will probably be added to the party. We can take him here and let him have this shard, this staff as well. He's not going to be able to cast magic on this planet without it any more than Owen can. Few Russians here. Check this house, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay. Save the game quickly here. Getting closer to the point where the barrier is. Start to physically hurt us, so if we have to go back, we might have to go back to this save. Yeah. Let's see if there's a house over here. That we should probably check out. Please see what's in there. Definitely lower on health than we normally would be, which would also make our accuracy far lower than it would normally be. This might take a while. Though luckily for us, Gorath is quite accurate with this weapon. At least he isn't taking any more damage. Goes. One down. Okay. Come on, game. Good night, Quadrosoul. Thanks for coming in. This seems like a bug in the game. This is pretty much the same location we were in earlier. Let's see if we turn off the in-game music, whether we can circumvent this bug. This happened before in what I think is basically exactly the same position. Let's turn off the sound for a little bit and see if that might circumvent this. We've had that happen in the game before where it crashed with the sound on, although this error, too many edges, seems very weird. We know we're going to have a tough little battle here, so I'm going to waste the rations. We can sleep. Oh, there's something very fishy about this tent. Uncomfortable position to in the game to have a bug like this. Because we really need to see what's in that tent. There's the tent. Approach it from this side. Rest up. See if we can approach it from the back, perhaps. Okay, just walking up to it seems to trigger the bug. Perhaps if we click the tent without walking all the way up to it. We can click the tent a bit away. We don't need to go all the way up to it. Weird with a game that's been patched 20 times. But there are still bugs like this in the game. There have certainly been quite a few bugs in this game. At times they've been very annoying. rebooting is good, they say. Okay, it doesn't seem to trigger the bug if we use this view. So we can approach the tent using this view. But at some point we do need to switch. How does one do this without triggering this problem? We know all of this. We've read this dialogue 20 times already. Go on this side. Damn it. Let's hope that isn't actually the hut that we desperately need to see, because I'm running out of ideas of how to approach it without triggering this bug. Particularly seeing as we can't really dwell there very much, because take damage. Take active damage for every step that we take there. Wondering how far we can actually be away from the hut. Maybe we can be a bit away. Probably get away with something like this. Is it really enough? No. Okay. Okay, let's try doing something else. It's the definition of insanity to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Most of what we're doing right now. Assume that we don't need to go in this direction, that we rather go in this direction instead. Although I think that might actually be false. At least we get to fight more of the serpent men. How fun. I've lost count as to how many of these guys we've taken down so far, but it's probably getting close to a very high number at this point. They don't really seem to want to fight us very much at this point. They largely just prefer to run away. Just given their success rate, seems pretty smart on their behalf. Okay. We save. The game is being crashy, we save. Did we just leave behind a single corpse here? Two more of our serpent friends. These guys at least don't run away. He does now, but it's probably too late for him. Unspoiled Russians, great. Running very low. More of the raw mana. Guess we could fill up the stuff. But here anyway. We've used a bit of it through all the various fighting that we've done, but I still haven't located Puck. We've gone in a full circle now, haven't we? Been here before, right? Perhaps not. More Russians. Like we need. Been here. Been here and we've been here. Not been here, right? We were here earlier. One over here. Probably check out another one on the other side. Check out as well. Check every single one of these dwellings in case we missed some of this. There's one over here. Yeah, this is where we found the second staff. Been here before. Been here before. Fairly sure that we checked this one as well. And there's the 3 huts that are over here as well. Fill up. Crystal shards. Three houses here. Let's take this one next. This one over here, which I think we already checked, but absolutely sure. One over here. I think the point of having these is a huge number of these places is to try to confuse us as they can. Okay, this is basically back to where the game keeps crossing on us. Yeah. Too far away. I guess we have to try to find where we can stand and click on that hut. We were able to do it earlier once, so there must be a place where we can actually stand. Just a question of finding where it is. I don't think we can escape searching this hut. We've searched every single one of the other ones on this island, and I'm fairly sure we're in the right vicinity of where we're supposed to be searching. So let's try our luck with this. At least going this way, it's not a problem to approach it using a map view like this. Try to position ourselves directly in front of the house. We're a fair bit away, but we can't walk towards it. All we need to do is get close enough to be able to click the house without triggering this bug. And we need to be able to do it twice, because the first time the game will sort of send us away Yeah, this is a very annoying little thing. It seems that there's some sort of a bug with the map itself, and it crashes because there are too many edges on the map. Trying to find a way to sneak up to this cottage without triggering this bug, but it seems very hard. Need to be able to see the door. Need to get close enough to see the door. It might work if we are able to click it without having to move on the 3D map itself. No, it has definite problems with being finished, that's for sure. It's also very hard, so I'll give it that. It's a very difficult game. In parts. This chapter hasn't been difficult at all. It's mostly been relatively easy to handle, but then you have moments like this where you're just so frustrated with this game. It seems that we're able to move using this view. We can't move using the regular view. We're at least able to click it once now, which I suppose is an improvement. So maybe if we save in between, we can switch to the other view and move around again and click it again. Crash avoidance 101. Sorry, restore is what I meant to click. It does not help that we take damage for each step that we take in this part of the map, so you can't really spend an indefinite amount of time just walking around here. It's a bad idea. We can camp here to restore our health, but that's pretty much it. We're out of food. And I suppose now we can click it once. No. Probably too close. Maybe I should try approaching it from the back instead of from the front. Maybe that would... Doesn't really matter, you don't necessarily have to click the door, you just have to click the dwelling itself. The game doesn't seem to mind very much. This does seem like a bit of a futile exercise here. What is relatively annoying is that I'm fairly sure this is the house that we definitely do need to reach. I know you're in pain. I've read that screen 50 times already. Now we need to be close enough to see the house, close enough to click it. Not close enough to trigger this bug. Screw you, game. Really. This is not a house we can approach, so if he's there, we're screwed. Let's go search elsewhere on the map. If this is actually the house he's in, yeah, it's a decently fast socket 7 system. The SD card adapter certainly helps as well. Okay, so we're not going up there, which means we are going probably on the closer to the coast. We've already covered this area pretty thoroughly. Although I do wish we could zoom out a little bit more. This, we already checked this out, right? Yeah, we did. I feel as though we might not have been as thorough here on the edges as we have been on the insides of the map. Good to actually find some Russians as well. Certainly use some of them at this point. Russians. Obviously been here before. I think we left these. Yeah, we probably did. There's nothing over on this side, is there? Oh. So finish this house as well. Marble pack here. Fairly sure we've been here before. Travel upwards this road as well. Just to be sure. That takes us back over here. We've already checked this house. Now let's try to do this as orderly as we possibly can. Go past this. Approach this side. Won't cross the bridge, we'll just search this part of the island. Okay. Let's go slightly further to the west. There's a hut over here. Check. The other stuff here before. Go south as far as we can. Turn. Or here. Very certain we've searched these many times already. Also fairly sure we've searched these 4 many times already. Interest of thoroughness, let's check all 4 of them again. B. It's 4. Okay. Okay. We went over here, we checked both of these as well. We know what's there. Went into that mine, couldn't find anything there. At least not pug, is sort of what we're looking for. Then there's the 2 of these. It's this one. Yeah, it's all the same area. We've done this very thoroughly. There's this little house. Okay, not there. So nothing over on this side at all. There's a house there and a few of the houses there in the middle of the desert here. Particularly this one. Oddly out of place here. There's a note here which I'm almost certain we've read, but can't be sure. Is this the map? No, this is that note from Pug. We've read it before many times. Now, these 4 we've checked. Another one over here as well. Russians. Plus. Now that's Puck. Finally. Where is Thomas? It is important I speak with him. He was unable to come and he sent us after you. He gave us the spell which you left to him. Able to come. Why? What has happened to him? He was injured during an attack on Elvindar by the Morozov. Queen Aklarana assures us that he will be alright. Can't believe that Makala's plans would be served by sending you here, so for the moment I will have to trust your word. I'm looking at you. And looking at you, it occurs to me that your face is familiar. Are you the magician boy who came into Krondor with Senior Locklear a few months ago? Yes, and you remember Gorath. His face has been hard for me to forget these last few nights. He was the first tool of Makala's in this grand scheme. You accuse us of being liars and spies? I'm not implicating you were a willing participant, Gorath. You were as unknowing in your part as I must assume Delagan is in his. And you said he had raised the war banners of Mormandamas over Sasargoth. I became somewhat alarmed. Having seen Mormandamas' death with my own eyes, I had no reason to believe he still lived, but forces acting in his name caused the calamity at Sethanon, and I thought it possible the Panthathians were once again responsible. After some investigation, I found that they were indeed interfering with affairs in the kingdom, but were acting through a band of magical thieves searching for various magical items. Trinkets in no way directly responsible for what was happening in the Northlands, or posing immediate threat to Midkemia. With the issue resolved, I believe that Delgan was merely exploiting the reputation of his predecessors to gain power. So then, what did Gorath tell you that was so important? It was only after Makala tricked me into coming here that Gorath's testimony to Prince Arutha took on any significance. In passing, he had mentioned Delgan wearing a helm of black shaped like a dragon. Mandamus wore such a helm and had it with him when Prince Arutha cut him down. Well, whoever had given Delgan Mormandamus' helm had to have been inside the caverns beneath Sethanon. There are only 4 magicians I can think of who might have had the wiles to slip inside the first perimeter of defense that have been placed there. One is Macros, but since he was instrumental in averting catastrophe there, I cannot believe he would be responsible. Another is a magician whom Macros once told me of, named Nakor the Isalani, but once again I have no reason to believe the Northlands would hold little interest for him. The only others who would be capable are Elgar and Makala, but Elgar has been quite busy with his students at Stardock. Deeming your only suspect as Makala, but why is he doing all of this? Why would he be pushing Delgan into a war with the kingdom? If he was ingenious enough to get within the caverns, he would still need considerable help achieving his final objective, a chamber containing an artifact of unbelievable destructive power about which he has been indefatigably interested. I left behind a dragon to guard it, and even my powers would be sorely taxed in a single battle against a dragon her age, let alone one with the special capabilities of the one who sleeps under Sethanon. Once she is alarmed, she will no doubt summon help from a secret garrison of soldiers which King Liam ordered to remain in the region of Sethanon. Soldiers whom Makala surely would have detected on his first visit and intends to counter with Delgan's more lethal troops. But that's why Prince Arutha sent us to find you. He's afraid that Delgan is going to have magicians working at the siege at Northwarden. Maybe if we can stop them there. Unfortunately, I am of no use to anyone at the moment, let alone Prince Arutha. In my blind haste to find Kamina, I used a magical artifact that would have been best left alone. You already know something about it. You said before that you were going to have to trust us, so you'll have to trust me now when I tell you that I think I can help. I hope for all of our sakes that I'm not wrong about this. Hog shook as he lifted the jeweled cup of Rilnskar, feeling power flare within the jeweled artifact. An ever-expanding circle, his consciousness stretched outward, touched on the minds of those with whom he traveled, finding awe, confusion, fear, pain, and knowledge. With jarring suddenness, Owen's mind was joined to Pug's, each dazed by the intimacy of the contact. Concentrate on what you know of Spellcraft Puck thought. I shall do the same, though in my debilitated condition I think I shall benefit more from this than you. Owen stirred and found that Goroth was standing over him, a look of concern on his face. I was wondering about you too, he said. How long was or were we out? Owen asked, sitting upright. 2 days, Goroth replied, smiling at Owen's startled reaction. It is a good thing that you both had presence enough of mind to eat when I put the food in your hands. So that's a pug. Charge up his staff. Go full 100. What is this note? Summoning the map, Pug did his best to approximate the location. This looks about right, he said, indicating an area to Goroth. Okay, so this is roughly where we need to go. This is in the northeast part of the map. Roughly where we are now, I would think. Somewhere over here. Now he has no armor. It's a big problem. A tremendous problem for Hans. Not even sure we would be able to find any none of the monsters on this world leave behind any armor. So that's a problem. His defense is only 40%. We'll have to hope that we find some items which can help us along the way. If not, we're definitely in trouble because he will probably get killed pretty quickly. What did we say? Northeast? What we said, right? Don't mean to be rude, but what is our destination? We must find my daughter Camina. In my current state, I am unable to reach her mind. I know not of your travels, but I was not able to complete my search. Then we shall continue our random wanderings. That sounds about right for this game. I have no desire for our search to be random. Assistance may lie to the north at the pillar of Datswavan, Lord of the Gates. While trapped, I found my mind focusing there. We know the pillar of which you speak. Lead the way, my friend. I assume he's talking about the pillars out in the desert. Although they are in the northernmost part of the map. As far north as we could possibly go. It's here, right? The pillars were here, outskirts of this, yeah. Pug waited. When at last it became clear that the entity within was beyond reaching, either it's sleeping or it's died. Yeah. Find which one to click. So one of them. Which one? Pug studied the column. When he had visited the site at Cassian previously, he had sensed the sentience that radiated from them, but had been unaware of the true nature of the beings who inhabited them. Stepping forward, he made a slight bow. Greetings, cousins of the Aal, he said. I regret that I did not recognize you on my first visit. My apologies. It was only during the time I was in the tent that something the Oracle spoke of once occurred to me. Apologies are unneeded for such as we, Savani, but we accept your tribute. Your safety was greatly prized by Macros. Pug nodded. He has been a true friend to me, only as one other has ever been. It is an honor that he prized me so highly. I sometimes wonder that he will ever stop protecting me. You have not come to us to waste thanks on us, one called Pug, but you wish from the gods of Imirinana. I came here in search of my daughter Kamina, a magician, a Savani by your terms, brought her here against her will. It is important that I find her and return to my home to avert a possible catastrophe. Forces are gathering to tamper with her limestone. For a moment there was a silence, the only motion in the air made by the rasp of the sands moving in the desert. And quite abruptly Tatsana's voice returned. Your daughter is caged by Panathian. They believe her an omen that Almalot has heard her pleas, is preparing the way for her return. Is she in any danger, Pagas? This is something you may do for her. No, Tatsana replied. Such as my powers once were, they are a limited part of the price we paid for continued existence. You exhausted your essence when you crystallized the mana to drive off the Valhurf. When their magical abilities seemingly began to wane, they assumed they had tapped the mana of the planet dry and moved on. Your speculations are deft, Savani, but the gods of Imiranina are not yet dead. We will abide until the time comes when we either sleep or until we can't be reborn through the children of the Holocaust. Perhaps once they have forgotten Almalok and the rest of the Valhurf, they can mature in their own ways. Puck accepted the information calmly and began to turn to leave, then halted. Has Makala placed any special spells around her? I'm very limited in my abilities at present. Seek the old hordes of the Valhurf. There may be something there to assist you. Farewell, Puck. Tatsana shall speak no more. Seek the old hordes of the Valhurf. The hell does that mean? What does that mean? He sort of showed us on the map where we should go as well. Marked a red spot on the map. This is not it. Okay, it just shows us where we are on the map. Yeah, this is where we are. This is where we were previously. So this map shows us exactly where we are on this this fine mess. Now what? Now what? of the area we could not travel to before. Was roughly here. Sort of wondering if we can go here now. This is about the point where we got cut off by the force field. Perhaps we can go here now. That would basically be my best guess. So that would mean going roughly southwest from here. At least we know where to go. No, I don't understand either. Owen, seek the old hordes of the Valhalla. I gather you do understand how this place was not always as it is now. At some point after Kamina is safe, please inquire further. As for now, it is enough to know that when the Valhalla left this land, they left behind something else as well. Whatever it is, it would be buried like the ruins. For it to have remained intact for so many years, it must have been protected by some sort of magical defense. Perhaps one produced by the pillars. Yeah. That's basically the same conclusion as I already came to, but the game is sort of confirming it for me. Owen and I were unfortunate enough to have counted a strange defense centered in the southwest corner of the isle. Do not judge in haste. Perhaps you are fortunate. We know the location, which we must soon reach. We will be unharmed by the defenses this time. Yeah, well, that's basically confirms what we already said. So now we head southwest, using pretty much as direct a path as we can take. Need to travel by the road. We've basically cleaned this place of pretty much all vermin at this point, so and safely just go take the shortest path possible. This is roughly where we would have been screwed up. Was a little bit past this point. It was roughly here we got cut off previously. Assuming that on this side of the island there is something that we need. He did mention that it might be buried. Guesses that's the case. Certainly something here. This Valhalla armor, condition 100% lustrous as no armor should be. It was unthinkable the suit had ever been in battle. Impossibly light. Breastplate was forged of a material that seemed like white gold, but was harder than any steel Goroth had ever encountered. This is an excellent piece of armor. An absolutely excellent piece of armor. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give Hug this piece of armor, and I'm going to give Owen this one. 70% with a 5% less, but this one is 55 with the 50%, so it's not far off, but the one that Owen has is better, and I think Owen's capabilities at this stage are probably greater than Pug's, so keeping Owen alive is probably greater importance. What else is here? Bunch of restoratives. Things sort of suggest that we're heading into a very, very difficult scenario here. Lead the Russians. Luckily, Pug has plenty of space in the park. Another crystal staff, 100%. Both at 100, but we might take this one. It's fully charged. This is a magical scroll called Strength drain. Let us read it. Now we know at least one copy of this spell. Would have preferred to find more than one. Wondering if there is... Not going to save just yet. Search a little bit more here. If we find... the Russians. Take all the help we can get at this stage. Can we use this contraption to have both of them learn the same spell? Is that how this works? Probably is, isn't it? Well, that's how we do this. Basically copy and paste the spells using this object. Just to be absolutely sure, let's make a new save here. We're out of space. It's been 21 streams, guys. So this game has taken a while, to say the least. Now we do know where to go next. So now we can safely travel in this path. Past the Crushy house. We need to make our way over to that little island again. I assume that this drain spell is the spell that we need to use against these two monsters that we found in the cave there that we found on the other side. So that's where our path leads now, past this bridge, and it's over here. Getting to know this island like the back of my hand. We've been traversing it now for quite a while. This is basically where we're going. Stage. Puck is not, at least not a weakling. He has 131 health and stamina, which is not bad at all. He has more right now than And Owen does. So we'll let him cast a spell. Come on, please. We need to find our way to that center room. What was that again? It's here. Excuse me. And this is where we died earlier. But let's go in, guns blazing. See if we can take these guys. Approach was undetected. For a moment, Puck froze, whispering Gamina, though the confrontation would be difficult. This was the moment he had long waited for. These bastards observing what Makala must die. Okay, so strength drain. Drains strength from victim and gives to caster. Nice. Have cast a protective spell on Gorath. We have ways of approaching that. We can do so now. What a difference a spell makes, isn't it? Intend for this to be the last battle that we fight here. And, would give these guys hell. She lives. Makala has many blessings to count. Gorath, see if you can do something about the cage. Cover your head and stand back. Puck took Kamina into his arms, eyes glistening with relieved tears. He hugged the girl tight to his chest, and for a long moment he simply held her, his head resting in her silver-white mane of hair, while he mulled through recent events. At last he slipped a finger beneath her chin, gently lifted and allowed his gaze to lock with hers as they initiated the special mind speech that had been Kamina's gift since birth. He was lying, father, all the time, Kamina thought. Even when he brought me here, he was trying to get you away from Krondor. I know, Puck thought in return, pushing a stray whisper of her hair into place. I shall have to see you better guarded in the future. I had always supposed that your gifts would keep you safe from harm. I see my pride in you, sometimes borders on the dangerously arrogant. We must be more careful, agreed. Agreed. Again she hugged herself to him, feeling her faint nod. He released her and kissed her forehead. Looked to where Owen and Gorath stood at the cave mouth. Curiously, the squire was bent double, his face buried in his hands as he shook with violent coughs. I'm okay, Owen wheezed, waving his hands, occasionally stealing glances at Kamina. Really, I'll be fine. Puck smiled. The boy's theatrics were poor, but it was manifestly obvious that he missed an introduction before his lungs collapsed. Kamina, this hacking gunk ruffian is Squire Owen Belafort of Tyburn. Both he and Gorath have been instrumental in helping find you. Perhaps we should have them down to Starduck for dinner someday. Starduck. Owen's performance faltered at the mention of Puck's Academy of Magic, realizing his lapse. Coughed tentatively into his hand. You mean the Starduck? None other. Puck frowned as he drew out a small, multifaceted stone from the folds of his robe. This special pattern stone shall take us there, but we have to drop off Kamina before we attend to our business. You will go join Prince Arutha Gorothast. No, Puck replied, clapping his hands overhead. We go to Sethanon. Chapter 9. Mad God's Rage. Locklear's eyes haunted. At some level he wanted to believe he'd seen something in the instant of the gate's collapse. It was irrational, no doubt, a vision he had conjured for himself to soften the blow of Patris's death. As a man who had stood against many armies, Locklear knew all too well about last-second visions seen on the battlefield. There were absolutely no chance that Patris could have survived the blast, none. By some agency beyond his control, he turned back the melancholy that threatened to overtake him, rationally broking his grief for the lost magician. There was still an army to contend with, still Morithrol to slay, still a kingdom to defend. There would be a time for grieving when it was finished. Such a dumb way to die, Locklear said, biting off the words bitterly. Then James nodded. He died a good death, Locklear. I wouldn't have wished for him to go, but he died to save others. You said that all the time, James, but there's no good way to die, they're all bad. James stared at his old friend and saw the coldness that glimmered in Locklear's gaze. He had come to know that look over the years, an expression that had first manifested itself at the Battle of Armagar years before, when Locklear's girlfriend Browin had been slain by a troll. A bit of Locklear had died then, and in that place had grown the seed that had bloomed into a deadly and superior knight. In all that time he had never forgiven himself for letting the girl die. You're not mad, Patris is dead, James, and finally you're angry that you didn't die in his place. Locklear's eyes flashed protest, but suddenly he reached for his sword as 3 flashes appeared in the woods. Spellweavers, Locklear shouted. Disliking the fact that he had been at a disadvantage against a magical opponent without Patris, James steeled himself as he grabbed for his weapon. Say your words, seniors. I believe it is still considered rude in the kingdom to skewer your friends. You Puck, never have I been half so relieved to see a friendly face. We were expecting Morithrol magicians. Surani magicians, James, or rather magicians trained by a Surani. No Morithrol witch would have the capability to make a rift machine, nor would they chance going into battle with such poor odds of success. I still should like to know how exactly it was that Delicant managed to make contact with Makala. I had hoped that a Morithrol would be wary of another such attack following the defeat of Normantimus 10 years ago. Prince Arutha said they hoped to find Normantimus and free him. The Morithrol convinced we've been holding him captive all these long years. So Goroth has told me, doubtless Makala exploited that belief to his advantage. That at least explains one wrinkle. The Morithrol have never forgiven us for that loss. But why is Makala doing all of this? Obviously he's in this to rescue a dead Morithrol leader. For the moment I believe I know, but I don't wish to say until I've taken a better look at something. This last problem I will have to unravel myself with some assistance from Goroth and Owen. From here I think I'll be able to teleport into the caverns beneath Sethanon. It is there our objective lies. What of Locklear and myself? Once Prince Arutha arrives with his reinforcements, deliver my assurance that he will not face anything magical from the Morithrol. If Makala indeed has assistance, they will be uninterested in the prince. They will be waiting for me. Chapter 9. Mad God's Rage prevent Makala from reaching the Lifestone. Where are we? In Sethanon. We're in the caverns beneath Sethanon. Yep, we are. Good progress. We finished chapter 8, made it over to chapter 9, which is the final chapter, and we are obviously fighting them with what is basically our strongest cast right now. It's Goroth along with Owen and Puck, so 2 strong mages, well protected and both with decently good armor. And Goroth, which is our best fighter. This is probably the best equipped group as well. We have plenty of rations and we have quite a bit of potions as well, so I think we'll be fine. Save the game here. See who we would be interested in raiding. This has been overall a pretty decently good stream, despite the crashiness of the game. It seems that this little house that we couldn't access is of no importance, luckily enough. At least we don't have to worry about that. We made it to the final stage of the game. Guessing we have at least a stream or two left to finish it. We're eking there. Who's on? And who do we want to raid here? Last Time Lord is doing some interesting Game Boy first playthrough attempts. I'll go through him a follow. He's a nice enough guy. Give him a raid. Not really a great number of people on right now. Very few of them playing anything retro related as well. I'll set up the raid. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for the raid again, Gleeser. I know you're not here anymore. Might and Magic here tomorrow, as always, on Saturdays. Part 8 of Might and Magic 6. Till then, guys, you have an excellent rest of the night. You sleep well, and see you here hopefully tomorrow later.